Okay, so let's get to know Tanya.
You don't want to answer.
Favorite color?
Pink.
Pink. Okay.
I'm kind of stereotypical that way. Pink nails, pink. My headphones are pink. My phone case is pink.
I noticed.
Yeah, a lot of pink. Love it. Want to be, you've got a 5'10", 200-pound woman that walks into a room. You want her to be noticed. Throw a lot of pink on her. Boom, there you go.
Favorite music? Favorite artist?
Oh God, it depends. I would listen to a lot of stuff. If you just put my music library on random,
right,
it's everything. But right now, I'd have to say my muse, my spiritual animal would be Jill Scott.
Okay.
I sing a little bit, so yeah.
You just do everything, don't you?
I don't know if I do everything.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, maybe master of very few of them.
Favorite food?
Oh man. As much as I'm a healthy food advocate, but mac and cheese is probably my favorite dish. My favorite dish, and I perfected my macaroni and cheese. Like whole wheat elbows, different kinds of raw milk cheeses, panko breadcrumb, dusted with smoked paprika. Yeah.
I'm getting pretty hungry right now. Favorite movie?
Oh man, favorite movie. That's a hard one. Do I have a favorite movie? The Color Purple is probably one of my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character? Whoopi or?
No. Oprah was my favorite character. She was a beast.
What was the guy's name? Danny Glover.
They just called him Mr.
Mr. Yeah.
That was it. He was just Mr. But
I think he was my favorite character in the movie.
Really?
Because in the end, he got his though.
Right.
He was so like, when he's at the end when she's standing on top of the steps and she's just
right. But I think for me, Oprah was so apologetically, it was the name of the movie was Sophia, I think.
Yeah.
She was so apologetically her, and thinking about the context in which she. I just see so much of myself in that character.
Yeah.
She's walking through that field and she's like, "You told Harpo to beat me," and she already is like, I've fought my whole life. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let the man that I love beat up on me too.
Yeah.
And then when she's confronted with racism, this sort of patronizing, condescending racism, she went to jail for what she believed in and would not have changed one thing, and it didn't break her, and then here she was she's this like big, physically full character, and there was still a certain level of like sass and sexiness to her that I just thought it was such a brilliant character. And I remember even from the time that I was little when that movie came out, and I've probably seen that movie at least 50 times, and I'd always cry at the end.
Really?
Always. It's such an amazingly great movie.
Favorite out of work activity? Favorite pastime?
Probably, I don't get to do it enough, crocheting.
Really?
Yeah. I don't get to do it nearly as much as I need to. I've just balls and balls and balls of yarn falling out of the closet that I've in projects I have not yet finished or even started.
Yeah.
But I love crocheting. It's definitely one of those things I love to do, just the repetition of doing something over and over again. And then at the end of it, there it is, something that you made.
So just creating something out of nothing.
Yeah, you've got something. You've got a hook and you've got yarn. You don't have a whole lot. But with diligence and doing the same thing over and over again and some creativity, you can create some really beautiful things. So for me, it's almost like an analogy on life. You just stick to something. You may not have a whole lot of materials. You may not even need a whole lot of materials. With a hook and a yarn and some innovation, some creativity, you get all of these beautiful things that you can create. You create it with your own two hands.
You can be like a motivational speaker. I'm just sitting here right now like, I need to go out today and just do something. Anything. Biggest misconception people have about you or your brand?
I don't know. You'd probably have to ask them, because I'm going to tell you what I think they misconceive about me, and I'm probably just projecting my own insecurities onto that. But I think that people, when they initially meet me, I think some of the things that I've heard as feedback is that I'm very intimidating to people. And they think that I'm mean, or they don't realize I'm quite as sensitive as I actually am. So I think I walk into a room and people automatically peg me as like the, big black troublemaker. And there's certainly some truth in that. But there is there's a lot of me that's very open and very soft and very gentle and very vulnerable, and definitely I pride myself on trying to be an extremely compassionate person, and even in my toughness, because I think I am a tough broad, but I think even in my toughness, there's a lot of me that welcomes people to be their whole and authentic selves as well. Yeah. So I understand when to step back to give people space in a room as well. It's
like when we first met at dinner, we had a little discussion about, I think it was corn commodities.
And I was like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, I think I was trying to, we kind of went back and forth for a couple of minutes, but we had the same point. But you would be just so direct and just hammering everything I was saying, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to say anything else.
And that can be a gift, but I'm also learning as I grow as a person, that can shut people down too. That can sometimes keep you, or that can alienate people. Yeah. And that's really a tragedy for me, because then I don't possibly get to know someone, and have an enriching experience from them, and find out that there might be someone who I really want to know and have the potential to love very deeply as a friend.
Right.
And so it's something that I'm learning to learn the appropriateness of it, right? Yeah. So when I'm on MSNBC, it's great to shut down a pundit. No, I don't think so. You're wrong about fracking. End of story, here's why. But when I'm having a drink with a colleague or someone I'm getting to know, it can sometimes I have to be like, Tanya, stop that, don't do that. Yeah.
Dial it back a little bit.
Right. Just so it's a balance. Yeah. That I'm still trying to work out.
I just thought it was so funny because we were going back and forth at the table, for a couple of minutes, and then at the end it's like, oh, we have the same point here. We both doing the same thing.
Glad you agree with me.
Something that you like to throw out there about yourself that you don't think people might not really, gauge in kind of interacting with what they might read about you online, or just different things they might see about you.
Yeah, I think, you'll find images of me standing in front of vacant lots looking like, superhero or whatever. And so there is this persona of toughness. I'm an extremely sensitive person. Yeah. I don't cry in public as much as I used to, but I am a big crier. I cry at a lot of things. I watch Grey's Anatomy, and they did a flash mob, and one of the doctors was proposed to, and I was sitting in front of my computer screen, eating crackers, and the crackers are falling out of my mouth, and there's mascara running down my face. I was like, I want somebody to propose to me like that. I'm a big crier. Baby commercials, all kinds of stuff. I go to see my kids perform, and I'm crying with happiness. I really love tears. I think they are God's greatest gift to us in terms of expression, right behind the ability to laugh. And so, yeah, I cry a lot. Not in public, but not anymore. But I'm a big crier in private.
So, if, when you give a commencement speech, if somebody gets up and just starts just giving you a bunch of, flattery.
I cry. I totally cry when I go to speaking engagements, and there's that moment where everybody sort of finds you at the end, and they, I've had women who have walked up to me who are from the same, have many similar, a similar narrative. They're single mothers, they're trying to find their place in the world, and they're talking to me about this, and before you know it, it's just I'm like Kelly Price from that video with all the mascara running down my face, and, my bottom lip is quivering, you get the cotton throat and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so things touch me very deeply. I think that's one of the reasons that I do this work.
Yeah. I think you're gonna have a very, good time of graduation, because you are actually the spitting image of the majority of the students that go to the SPS. Mm-hmm. So I think you'll bring some tissues and
All right, I definitely will.
Get ready for
Make
that
sure
one.
I get my waterproof mascara. Have my falsies glued on extra tight that day.